Get excited, get excited. I am going to be doing 3 looks with the Cosmic Brushes Muse palette today. Welcome if you are new here, my name is Rachel, and if you're not new here, thank you so much for coming back. This palette has a lot to live up to because their palette that they came out with last year, the Serenity palette, was a top quality palette. One of my favorite palettes I tried last year. And so I want to create 3 looks. This is look number 3 that you're looking at. And I want to kind of give you some inspiration if you did buy the palette, or if you didn't, you just want to watch me put some makeup on. Well, I'm here for it. Thank you so much for being here. This palette is like a grungy spring dream. I love this color story. It's got greens, it's got purples, it's got neutrals, which are some of my favorite tones to play with. So if you want to check out 3 looks with this palette and hear kind of my first impression thoughts after creating 3 looks, let's just get right to it. I always put timestamps down in the description box if you want to skip to the looks. I am going to talk about the palette a little bit more, show some swatches and whatnot. Always check the description box because I always put timestamps, and I also list and link everything that I'm wearing on my face in every single look. And if you do enjoy this video while you're watching it, please give it a thumbs up, and I would love it if you would consider subscribing before you leave if you love makeup content, especially eyeshadow content. Let me give you a little bit of information about the Muse palette. This is by the brand Cosmic Brushes. They are an indie brand out of the UK. The palette does retail for $23 US, which is insanity to me. It is currently out of stock, but you can go on their website, which I will link down below. You can sign up to be notified when they do restock it. This 20 color palette with 8 metallic shimmers and 12 mattes. 3 of the shimmers are duochrome and 1 iridescent, creates stunning smoky neutral looks, or be more bold with bright metallics and deep mattes. And this palette is vegan and cruelty-free. Let me know down in the comments if you picked this palette up, if you're interested in the palette, or if you've never even heard of this palette or this brand before. Leave me a comment down below and let me know. All right, I'm gonna send you off to look number 1. All right, so let's do our first look with the palette. I'm super excited to be using it. This looks gorgeous. I did take this outside and do some videos with it, and I did swatch some of the shimmers, and they look so beautiful. And I am going on a date tonight with my fiance, so I want to look a little smoky. I'm not sure. And I'm not going to be wearing this. I'm going to change and like get myself together. This t-shirt, if you can see, do you love it? I had it made when I was like 20 years old because me and my best friend from high school, Mikey, we used to be obsessed with Paris Hilton. If you know, you know. I do want to do a neutral look with this palette, but I'm not going to do that today. Maybe that'll be the next look. I usually never go for colors like this greenish blue teal color, but I'm going to today. Let me go in with Nouveau, like bluish green. Really pretty. That was really easy to work with, and I used a really fluffy brush, obviously, so it did kind of sheer that color out, but that's what I was looking for. If you used a denser brush, you would get a little bit more true to pan, but this is what I'm going for. I'm gonna go in with the shade Pine, which is kind of that same tone, just a little deeper, and I'm gonna place that lower in the crease. Ooh, that's pretty. Trying to decide between a few of these shimmers. I feel like this one is like the more obvious choice because it's all green, or this one, but I feel like I kind of want to do this purple that has like a blue reflect, although it is a little bit more on the sheer side. I'm going to put down the NYX glitter primer first. I'm going to go in with Antique, this like purple with the blue. It's a little more sheer, so you may be able to see my eyelid, but I don't think I'm gonna mind that. Ooh, that is so pretty. Beautiful. These shimmers feel very creamy to the touch. They're not like gonna fall out all over your face, especially if you put something sticky down. They feel super creamy, but they still have a little sparkle to them. I think I do wanna put something to bridge the metallic and the matte. I want to go in with Patina, which is like that dark green metallic. I might regret this, but we're gonna try it. Just gonna put that basically where they meet. Oh, actually, I love that. that helped transition it a lot better. I like that. Typically I would go in and like deepen the outer corner even more, but I think I just want to keep it like this. I really like how it looks so far. All right, let me head off camera. I will be right back and we can finish up the lower lash line together. All right, I'm back. Let's finish up the lower lash line. This was a case of the wing liner just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. There was not much I could do to stop it, but I kind of like it. These shimmers are so incredibly pretty. I love them. I think I want to take the shade Fig, this really dark brown, and just smudge it right up against my lower lash line. This is actually like a brown with a purple undertone, hence the name Fig. I'm gonna take the shade Willow, this olive green, and I'm gonna smudge out that Fig shade with it. All right, I'm gonna go in with the shade Softly, this like really light sage green. I wanna put this in my inner corner. If it's not bright enough, I may dip into another palette just to get a matte white. I know that's kind of cheating, but I like my inner corner really bright. That is actually quite pretty, but I think I will layer just a little bit of a matte white on top. All right, I will be right back. I'm gonna finish up everything and I will come back to show you the final look. All right, and this is the finished look. What do you think? I love it. I love it. I think it's so pretty. My winged liner is a little wonky, but we're just gonna look past it. But I think the eyeshadows performed beautifully. I love how I always keep saying I don't love greenish blues or bluish greens, but I keep wearing them. So I'm surprised I picked these colors out of all the ones that are in the palette. It's not really like my favorite colors, but there are so many looks I feel like I can make. I was gonna do a 2 looks video, but I might do 3 looks. But I feel like there are so many options in this palette. I'm so excited to continue to use it. Both the mattes and the metallics performed beautifully. I have no complaints. So yeah. Let me know what you think. As per usual, everything else I have on my face, I will link down in the description box if you wanna know. All right, let's go on to look number 2. I'm ready for look number 2. What about you? I'm gonna do something a little more neutral today. That's just what I'm feeling. So I'm going with these more neutral tones. I did prime my eyes with the Rare Beauty eye primer, but my eyelids are so dry today. Like, I don't know what it is. Over the age of 35, I had 1 glass of wine last night, 1. And I feel like it just sucks all the moisture out of my skin the next day. So my eyelids look really dry. So if these shadows don't perform like 100% the best, I'm not going to credit it completely to the shadows. I'm gonna take this fluffy brush. I'm gonna go into the shade Haze. No, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go into Admire, this like mustard yellow shade. Let's do that. That seems fun. Yeah, that's what I want. All right, I think next up I'm gonna go in with Haze. Let's see, I don't know like depth-wise how much different it's gonna be from that yellow, but let's give it a shot. Yeah, I think that did something. My left eye looks so dry and the shades are having a hard time grabbing onto it. But again, that is my eye's fault. All right, next up I'm gonna go in with the shade Rosewood, this like really dark, warm brown. I'm gonna place that in my outer corner. Ooh, that's so pretty. I'm gonna put on the NYX glitter primer on my lids. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. All right, I'm gonna go in with Ambient over here, which is like a brown to blue duochrome, which we see a lot, but this one is really, really pretty. It's got a little bit of sparkle to it and it has a slightly translucent base like that shimmer that I used in the last look. But let's give it a shot. Very pretty. Super sparkly and pretty. All right, so I just went off camera and finished up the rest of my makeup. All I did was add a winged liner with a brown liquid liner, and I put the 2 brown mattes on my lower lash line, Rosewood and Haze. Those 2, I just smudged them on my lower lash line, and I used a matte white from a Blend Bunny palette to highlight my inner corner. There's really like not, for what I'm looking for today, I didn't really want to use this iridescent duochrome. So anyway, this is a look. I love it. I love me a neutral look. And I love a palette where I can get colorful and neutral looks out of it. So I'm all about that. I'm all about that. So far, so good. Again, the mattes weren't behaving the best, but I think it's my eyes and my eye primer just being so dry. I'm gonna create one more look with this, and I'm thinking I either wanna do something like pinky purple or like more green. I think I wanna do something green. I've been doing a lot of pink looks lately. So yeah, what do you think about this look? I mean, for me, this is an everyday look. I love it. I didn't put on any lashes, obviously. I just put on some mascara. So you could definitely add lashes to this to make it more va-va-voom. And I love this lid shade because it's still neutral, but it's got that little extra interest with it. Yes. All right. I'm gonna send you off to look number 3. All right, we're gonna create a third look with the Muse palette. And like I said last time, I think I'm gonna do something more like true green. I did like a bluish green last time. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I went out and bought my favorite eye primer that I had run out of, and I was using the Rare Beauty one just because I had it, but I've not been enjoying it on my eyelids. Like, I've got too many lines and wrinkles and texture. I don't think it's flattering. And this one is the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion, the anti-aging version. I love this one. It provides like a nice base, but it's not like crusty and like, ugh. It's just very smoothing, moisturizing. I love it. So highly suggest this if you have that same preference. Okay, let's give it a shot. I'm gonna do something a little different that I don't usually do, but I'm feeling adventurous today. I'm gonna start with the second deepest shade. Usually I go in with a transition, but I'm gonna do something a little different this time. I'm gonna go in with Filigree, and I'm basically gonna put that in my outer corner and into my crease. So that matte shadow laid down so much nicer with this primer. So I have a feeling the last time I wore this, it was because of the primer that the shadows weren't behaving. So now I'm gonna go in with a smaller fluffy brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade Water Lily, this like murky, like moldy green. Sounds delicious. It's a beautiful color though. And I'm gonna blend out the edges of this green shade with it. I don't know if this is gonna do anything, but you know what? I'm gonna try it anyway. I'm gonna go in with Willow in kind of the outer corner. Let's see if that deepens it up a little bit. I don't know if it will. Actually, it did make it a different tone. It added that more olive undertone to it. So here's my vision. I want to take the shade Inspire, this like greenish, yellowy shade, and I want to put this on my lid, and I want to end up wrapping it into my inner corner and on my lower lash line. How does that sound? Sounds good to me. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put down the NYX glitter primer on my lid. Then I'm going to place the shade Inspire on my lid. Then after I do the rest of my face, I will come back and we can wrap it. All right, so let's finish up the eyes. Everything else that I have on my face, of course, I will link down below in the description box. Let's wrap it. Let's wrap it. Let's wrap it. Let's wrap this Inspire shade through my inner corner and onto my lower lash line. I have this like little angled brush from Unearthly Cosmetics. I'm gonna pick up Inspire and I'm gonna spray it, okay? Because I'm trying to avoid as much fallout as possible. And I'm placing this in my inner corner, connecting it with the lid. And I'm gonna carefully get underneath till about there is good. So about halfway in. That is a very metallic shade. I'm gonna take a little tiny brush. I'm gonna go into the shade Willow, and I'm gonna push this up against my lower lash line on the outer half. gonna take a little pencil brush. I'm gonna go into filigree up here and smudge that out. Now I'm gonna go in with a little tiny fluffy brush and I'm going to take Water Lily and just blend that out. I can already tell this is gonna be my favorite look. So pretty. Now, I don't have an eyeliner that's like this color green, unfortunately. I need to buy one like the Water Lily shade. If you have any recommendations, let me know. I'm sure ColourPop has one, and I own so many of them, but I don't own a color like that. So I'm gonna bring it back old school and put white in the waterline. Let's see how this looks. All right, let me go ahead and finish everything up, get myself together, and I will be right back to show you the final look and to give you my final thoughts, or my first, second, and third impression thoughts on the palette. Okay, so this is the finished look number 3. What do you think? I love it. I love it. I love greens, okay? They are some of my favorite colors to wear, and I love this tone of green, like the lime greens, the grungy greens. Love. I love this look. This is my favorite look of the 3. What about you? Which one was your favorite? I like them all, but this look is, yes. So let me give you kind of my thoughts so far. I really was expecting to love these mattes, but the thing that's really like blowing me out of the water are these shimmers. They are that really smooth yet impactful shimmer, which I really like. Some of them have a slight shift to them. Some of them have a little more of a translucent base to them. And then like the one I have on my eyes today, it's a little more opaque, a traditional metallic, but I like that it's not messy, it's not crumbly, it's really smooth to apply to the lid. So the shimmers I've also really been impressed with. I have to keep using this palette. I don't feel like I really got the full experience the first 2 times I used it because of the primer I was using. Honestly, like today's look, I feel like has blown the other 2 looks out of the water just because of my primer that I used and how dry my eyelids were. I didn't feel like the shadows stuck to my eyes. So just be aware of that. Like if you have a palette that is not really working, like the mattes aren't really sticking to your eyes or you're not getting that pigment, try to mix up what you're putting as your primer. So for me, I need something that's a little bit more emollient, a little bit tackier, that's not as dry as that Rare Beauty one. So this look I think is wonderful. I really want to continue using this because I still feel like there's so many looks I can do with this palette, and that is something I love about this color story. I'm inspired by it. It's not just like a boring monochromatic or neutral palette, which I love monochromatic and neutral palettes, don't get me wrong, but this is something different that I feel like I want to go in and create more and more looks. Like I really want to use luster. I didn't use this shade, and I want to create something purple, something pink. I think I would really enjoy that. So far I've been enjoying this. I want to keep using it. Let me know what you think down below, and let me know, did you pick this palette up? Did you skip on it? Do you want to buy it? Have you never even heard of this brand before? Let me know down in the comments. I love hearing from you. I will put this in a palette ranking in the future after I have used it enough times to really get full thoughts on it, so stay tuned for that. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. That helps me out a lot when you do that. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing before you leave. I do upload videos weekly, both beauty and fashion videos, and I would love to see you back on my channel again. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.